Good morning. I'm Monique Ruffin, your moon madam. So, the moon today is still in Cancer, and yesterday I talked about, doing work to heal our inner childhood foundational structures. And here's the thing the sun has been in Aries for a few weeks now, and Aries is the energy of new beginnings. And what that means is during this time of the year is when we have energy. The sun is in the place in the constellation of Aries, and that is the beginning. And so you see it's spring. I've talked a little bit about this. It's spring, but it's also spring inside of your psyche. You have an inner spring going on because you're connected to everything, just like everything is connected. Like we are a part of this collective experience. So in Aries is the best time of the year for us to take on those things that are going to require us to a momentous effort from us, where things that are going to require that we really give all that we have, and show up and believe in ourselves and trust the process. It's the things that scare you. This is the time of the month to do the things, or the time of the year to do the things that you don't really want to do because you're like afraid, right? And as adults, we don't admit that necessarily because we want to feel like we're experts at everything. But the most incredible thing in your life to do is to be a beginner. Like, I don't know if you guys remember being, young, when everything was new. Like, if you have children and how they are, like everything is new, and so they have this willingness. Generally, not all kids are this way, but they have a willingness to just take it on, to just go for it because they don't know any better. They don't know any different, right? And that's this time of year. We want to take that on for ourselves. Wipe out your history, wipe out your expertise, and allow yourself to be a beginner again. And so when the moon is in Cancer, if you can come to your early childhood foundations with a new perspective. So for me personally, I'll share, I just have this weird fear. It's just in there all the time. And it's around really being myself, because what I learned very early on is that who I am and how I think is not like most people. I just don't, my frequency doesn't even register in at where most people live. So so I don't see things the same way. I don't see race issues the same way. I don't see gender issues the same way. I just have a very different perspective. And because my perspective has always been different, I have been ashamed of it. I have felt like I have to hide it and I have to try to fit in and try to be like everyone else so that I will feel safe inside the world. But what that does is that puts me at odds with myself. And then I don't feel safe inside of me. And I realize that I'm doing things that are not really what I want to do and who I really want to be. So this month I've been pushing myself to stand up inside of my own unique way of being. And it's taking courage, and it's meaning that I take risk. It's meaning that I push myself out of my comfort zone, and it's meaning that I find ways to communicate my beliefs in ways that don't necessarily infringe upon other people's beliefs. Because the reason that I have not been being true to myself is because I don't want to be judged and infringed upon. So in order for me to offer that to myself, I have to also offer that to others. And I've been sharing things that are my truth. And it has been rigorous. I shared yesterday on a post by Charles Blow about my political perspective and why I think that Donald Trump is really great for us. Not because I think he's a great human being, but I think that he's lifting the veil. I think that he is allowing us to see what's really going on in this country and what has been going on for years, centuries, decades. before any of us were born. And I really think that there's value in that for us to see. I think that he's shifting the consciousness. And I have been so afraid to say that out loud because I didn't want the fallout. I didn't want people to judge me. I didn't want to feel like I didn't belong. And so I have been holding out. I've been talking to my closest friends about what I think sometimes, but really afraid to be in my truth about it. And so I learned that behavior as a child. I learned as a child that I needed to silence myself in order to be safe and to fit in, or else I would be so ostracized that my needs wouldn't get met by the greater collective, the community. And I'm reconciling that this month. I'm facing my fears. I'm looking at where I can access greater courage and allow myself to be who I'm here to be and stop playing small because I want to fit in and belong. And so today is a great day for you to look at some of the decisions you made in your childhood to keep yourself safe and secure, and see if they still hold true. You know, maybe you decided that, we go through all sorts of things as children. I know women who've dealt with sexual abuse and people who overeat to make their bodies be a certain way so that they don't draw in sexual attention and attraction. There are all sorts of things choices we made as children to protect ourselves, and rightfully so. There's nothing wrong with that. But today, in your adult way of being, is it still necessary? Is there something else you can access? Is there a greater level of power and strength and courage that might be available to you today that wasn't available to you when you were 6 or 10 or 3, right? And how could that improve or enhance your life? How could that choice be something that makes your life better today? So in this Cancer moon energy, and we are also in the first quarter phase. The first quarter is a hard angle. It's a square. It's 1 week before we go to the full moon. It's the time between the new moon and the full moon. And so it's where you have to absolutely make a choice. You literally get to decide if you're going to stay the same, who you used to be, or if you're going to push yourself into some new experience of yourself. Just the way you see the flowers bursting out right now, right? You see flowers everywhere, blossoms. They had a choice. They decided that Anais quote that says the bud had a choice whether it was going to continue to stay locked up or whether it was going to take the courage to blossom into something new. That is what you have inside of you during this Aries season, to become something new. Will you allow yourself to blossom? Will you? It's your choice. And there is no wrong choice, because you'll get a chance to do it over again and again and again. So peace and blessings today. If you'd like to get a reading I'm doing companionship readings for $111, and which is a great deal to understand the health of your relationship, what you need to do to improve it, and what you need to do to let go, what things you need to let go of it. So if any of that feels good to you, you can check out my website, send me a private message. I'd love to support you. Peace and blessings. My name is Monique Ruffin, and I'm your Moon Mama. My website is MoniqueRuffin.com. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.